So I'm going to try and make some sense of this. We're going to use these truth tables that you see on the screen. Although you don't need to remember them all the time, but they really should become familiar to you. We'll get more into the algebra later and what happens to the logic. But for now, we just want to sort of make sense of a program. So let's do that. Let's imagine that I'm in a game and I've got a sword and a shield. And if I'm holding both a sword and a shield, I can't be killed. So let's set up some variables. Has sword, and I'm going to say that is true. And I've got another one, has shield, and I'm going to set that to, well, let's start off with true first. So instead of just printing out things, I'm going to start using my if statements. So if. Now, if you remember, I had a condition before where I had is greater than or equal to or less than, and they worked out to be true or false. Well, I can just use the true or false. Now, so if has sword, and if you remember, I can put a colon on the end, and if that is true, I can do print, not with a capital, print holding a sword, and I can just do else print not holding a sword. So what I'm trying to point out to you here is that instead of doing an equals or a exclamation mark equals or greater than signs, I'm just using one single variable, a Boolean variable, to test here. It's just one. And if it's true, then it's going to do that line. Well, it's going to do that line because has sword is set to true. If it's false, it will do this line. So if I run my program, we can see that in action. It should say print holding a sword, because has sword is true, so it prints the first line. So let's change the has sword to false, please, and run my program again. This time has sword will be false, so it will do the else part, not holding a sword. And there we go, we see it. So that's working quite nicely, but that's not where I really want to take you. I really wanted to include this logic, the ands and the ors. Now you've got to think about this one. I can have two Boolean tests or two Boolean conditions on the single line. So if I'm holding my sword and I am holding a shield, then the print you can't be killed. Now that is only going to print you can't be killed if both has sword is true and has shield is true. We are in this truth table here. So I'm only going to do this one line, the truth line, if has sword is true and has shield is true, then I'm going to do the top line. If either one of these is false, so if has shield is false or has sword is false, or if neither, it doesn't have a sword or have a shield, then the answer is going to be false, and this line is going to be run. So let's go through that truth table as we did before, but with a bit more meaning this time. So this time I've got has sword and has shield is true, so it should say I cannot be killed. You can't be killed. I'm going to change this, so I'm now going to say that my I don't have a shield. I'm going to set that to false. and run my program. This time it'll say, well, let's change that to you can be killed. You can be killed. Run my program, and it should say you can be killed, because I'm holding a sword, I'm not holding my shield, and so the second part of the if statement, else, is the one that is triggered. So let's swap those round. So has sword is false, I have a shield, and again I don't have a sword, I have a shield, the else statement will work. I can be killed. You can be killed. And finally, let's take a look at this one, where I'm not holding a sword, I'm not holding a shield, I can be killed. You can be killed. So that's how the AND gate works. Now let's take a look at the OR gate with has sword and has shield. Same lines, you can be killed, you can't be killed. So this time let's set them both to true. Now what this is saying is if I've got a sword or I have a shield, I can't be killed. And I can only be killed if I'm holding neither of them. So let's take a look at the OR gate, which is over here. And it's saying if I have a shield, and I have a sword, and I have a shield, then I can't be killed. So I can't be killed. So let's change it for this one. I have a sword, but I don't have a shield. So has shield becomes false. Run my program again, and I have a sword, I don't have a shield, I can't be killed. So the first line is going to be executed. I can't be killed. Let's swap them round again. So this one now becomes false. This one becomes true. So here, I don't have a sword, I have a shield, I can't be killed. It's going to run the first line. I can't be killed. And I'm going to do this one in the OR gate. I don't have a sword, I don't have a shield, I can be killed. There you go, I can be killed. So that is the AND and the OR gate working in a sort of more sensible environment than before. This is more game-like, and we're using Boolean values of true and false and gates to decide which of the if statements will work. In the next video, we're going to sort of move this one along a bit to be a bit more gamey, and I'm going to start introducing libraries to you.